Shalom, my name is Betzalel, I'm 66 years old, 42 years in Kibbutz Mizgav Am, 5 generations in Israel. My roots is from Ukraine. By the way, you can see the new wall.
It's Israel's quietest border, its northern border with Lebanon. What lies beyond is arguably Israel's biggest threat, Hezbollah, a group Israel has been closely monitoring and actively preparing to defeat in a future war.
The terrorist organization Hezbollah is deployed with capabilities of infiltrating into Israel, using the Lebanese population as a human shield. It's being deployed inside Lebanese villages, very close to the blue line.
The IDF is constantly improving its defensive capabilities, one of those being a wall, 95% of which is concrete, being built between Lebanon and the 20-some Israeli communities adjacent to the border.
The aim of this obstacle is to protect Israeli civilians living in Israeli communities close to the blue line.
According to a senior IDF officer of the Northern Command, the militant group has become a fully equipped army that stores the bulk of its weapons in Shiite villages in southern Lebanon near the border. Israeli intelligence has improved in light of the looming threat Hezbollah poses. That intelligence suggests that Hezbollah has established the so-called Radwan unit, a group that has fought and gained combat experience in Syria, and whose mission, according to the senior official, is to conquer territory in Israel's north. In response, Israel's mission is to destroy the Radwan unit. The border wall may be part of Israel's two-pronged defensive scheme, one being purely defensive by fortifying a border wall, and the other is Israel's ability to prevent an attack, and that measure could be executed preemptively. As the senior IDF commander said, Israel will do everything it can to attack Hezbollah before they attack Israel, even if it means going into Lebanon. Daniel Tzemach, I-24 News.
On the left side of the wall, this is South Lebanon. On the right side, yes, this is Israel. Now the wall makes something like half circle inside. And then you can see a white, like a white triangle over there, white. Okay, this is the tent that the Hezbollah dig to pass, yes? And to cut between us and Metula and attacked us. We know about this tunnel for 3-4 years. You understand?
Yeah.
It was not something that's surprising us. It was a politic move a little bit, just to open it now. We can open it last year, next year. We know about it. There is a 12 tunnel all over the border. We are in Mizgav Am, the North Kibbutz in the world. We are sitting here. You see the top of the finger of the Galileo. The purple line represented the border between us and South Lebanon. All this area called South Lebanon, it's area that's controlled by Hezbollah, controlled by the Iranian regime. Thanks President Trump that stopped it. Seriously. Now, these people used to get something like $700 million for the Iranian, and they created, as you see, in this area, a Hezbollah land. It's not funny. It's these people are running this area. You know, in the Muslim world, there is Shia and Sunni. The Sunni are the strong one. The Shia, only 12%. Now, this area, before that we get this problem, used to be control on us and the Christian until the year 2000 when we draw out of Lebanon, okay? And after it coming the Hezbollah. Now the Hezbollah is running a private country here in the south, what's called South Lebanon. The government are not involved on anything here. Not on education, not on the food, and not on the money, not hospital, nothing. Everything used to come by Iran. They living on Iranian social security until last week.
Wow.
No, thank President Trump, seriously, then stop it. You need to understand it. We used to have a good relationship with these people when we built this kibbutz in 1945. It was no border fence here until 1968. It's 1 year after Six-Day War. We used to have a good relationship with these people. Not all of them are bad people. They are captured by Islam fanat from Iran, and this is our problem. The second problem that we have here, by the way, you can see on the green hill, half green, half yellow here on the village. Don't jump, do not jump. Look, follow me. Oh, here on the village, there is unfinished house, grave house on the hill, a lonely one. On the right side, you can see the yellow flag. This is Hezbollah flag. You will not see here any Lebanese flag. You understand me? Now, the Iranian, they are a very smart nation. Now, you can see down there on the village, and you can see there is a lot of unfinished houses. Yes, and rich houses, and the system here, that the Iranians are moving money here, built 3 floors. 2 floors belong to the Lebanese, the lower floor belong to the Hezbollah. In this floor where is all the weapon. So, if something happen here, the Hezbollah get into the house, tell to the Lebanese resident to take out what you got, shoot, run away. If we react back, you will read it all, the newspaper and the media, Israel shooting women and children.
Yep.
These people force to put the women and the children in the house to live together, and that's make us a big problem. It's the way that we are look like in the world. It doesn't make difference because the reality here, by the way, the Hamas in Gaza copied the same system.
Yeah.
Now, our problem in 2006, which was very interesting, that we came with a lot of soldiers to lonely villages like this. It's not here, it's behind the Litani. And in each village, it was 5-6 groups of terrorists between civilian, and it was a big problem for us. Now, things are getting changed. Even that we are sitting here in Mizgav Am, 50 meters from the Hezbollah, and in the Iranian and the Hezbollah, big bunker, they can launch from here 350 kilometers, a rocket with 1,500 kilograms of explosive with GPS. You know GPS?
Yeah.
So they are here. We are here, remember. They are here. This is the Kinneret Sea, the Dead Sea. They can shoot from here until the Dead Sea, including Tel Aviv. It's the first time in the history of Israel it's more safe to be in the border than in Tel Aviv. Now, in 2006 it was the best war for us, the second Lebanese war, yes, in all our life. Why? It's quiet until now. We get now, 2006 until today, 13 years very quiet. We used to live in bomb shelter here. We grow a generation of kids in bomb shelter. We've been attacked and more 100,000 Katyusha rockets, motors, RPG. A group of terrorists cut our fence in 1980, get into the kibbutz, killed the secretary of the kibbutz, killed one child. We've been in a war area all our life until the Second Lebanese War. That the strong army in the Middle East could not smash the Hezbollah. Now we are very lucky that we didn't do it. First of all, I want to tell you about the Second Lebanese War, because this is the first time when Israel became a country that a terrorist organization, the Hezbollah, successfully shot rockets almost until Tel Aviv, covering all the north with rockets. You know our history. Israel chose to fight outside of Israel, with the Egyptian in Sinai Desert, with the Syrian, by the way, in the Golan Mountain, with the Jordanian in the Jordan Valley, and suddenly this terror organization bombed all the north, and he fight with us 33 days. It's never happened to us before. Now Hezbollah, they are Shia after it. So we have a good intelligence, and remember that we've been more 20 years in Lebanon, we have still friends over there. So if they will move even one rocket, it's not going to be a war between us and Hezbollah. It's not going to be conflict between us and Hezbollah, it's under responsibility of the Lebanese government. So we have the power. Now the real problem, what's happened today, I would like to put your eyes over there, and you can see three purple range mountains, you see top. On the right one, this is the Hermon mountain, yeah? You know what I'm talking. The right one belongs to Israel, and the two left one belong to Syria. So you are watching meeting between three countries, Syria, Lebanon, and Israel. Okay? Now what's happened? Why it's so quiet here until last week? You need to remember that there is a civilian war in Syria. You heard about it. Yeah. And it's between the Shia and the Sunni. Now, President Assad is Alawi, but he is part of the Shia. Near to him is Iran, and of course, Mr. Putin, the Russian, back to the Middle East, and I'm not blame you. You know, it took us 35 years to push the Russian out from the Middle East, and now the Russian come back. And trust me, this Mr. Putin is shooting ballistic rocket for submarine for the Black Sea. It's 4,000 kilometers from here. And he destroyed all the Sunni houses in Syria. And they put Shia. So he is afraid that if he will lose here, it's going to affect him. The second thing, Russian coming back to the Middle East, you need to understand. On the Syrian coast, a city named Tartus, this is the only place that the Russian Navy can park. So the Russian Navy come back here to the Middle East. And also at the base in Sicily. I will surprise you if you open your eyes what's going up here. The Chinese and the Russian are kept places, you know. We talk about Syria, so there is Assad, Putin, Iran, and of course the Hezbollah moving from Lebanon, fighting with them in Syria. For the other side, this is the Sunni opposition, and three Sunni terror organizations, Al-Qaeda, Jabhat al-Nusra, and ISIS. Now the Hezbollah lost in Syria 2,000 warriors. So he lost 2,000 warriors over there, and if it's effective. The second thing is that I always tell you that President Trump, thank God, put on him sanction now.
Yeah.
They cannot move this money. And trust me, I watch the Hezbollah TV and I see a lot of places with donation.
Wow.
For us, the big problem is Syria, Iraq. Israel, if you know and you don't know, we are attack Iranian base, yes, in Iraq and in Syria. We attack them, we do not let the Iranian to come close to us. That's the Iranian idea, to fight with us, how much close they can make from here, and then from there, and they created us a Hezbollah in Syria. So I still think that we have a kind of agreement with the Russian, because we are born behind the Russian control, you understand? And lately, also the Russian start to push out the Iranian. So Khamenei decided to build a kind of a private army. You know what I'm talking about? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
IRGC.
IRGC. And this guy becomes so strong in Iran, you know. They are also...
Soleimani.
Huh?
Soleimani is it?
Yeah, Soleimani, yeah. They got a lot of money and a lot of things all over. And they are... This guy, not all of them Iranian, they are Shia from all the world, creative a kind of gangs, I don't know what to call it, but we bombed them, we stopped them. Okay, a little bit about our kibbutz, established 1945. We are farmer. We have 350 people here, 70 children, and we are involved with farmerhood, like we go grapes top on the mountain, we produce wonderful wine here with another 4 kibbutzim. We have 2,000 acres. Down on the valley we go corn, beans, tomato, potato, everything. We have a fish ponds here. We have avocado trees, apple trees, cherry trees, everything is okay. If in my time people go to work in the fields, we used to go 40 people. Today the technology changed, we need 1 person. You understand me?
Yeah.
Like I tell you, our problem is to bring a new family with children here. Also, we have a new kind of kibbutznik, Mr. Tom. He's sitting here. Please wake up. Please.
All the way from Oregon.
Tom is from Oregon. And he's not only our guest here, he's part of our program here. We built here a special place for the Christian down there, you see, to brave peacefully from Israel and her soldier. Okay? So we vote. We have agreement. Come here, Tom. We have agreement with this. We take a very small church because we're afraid from the bigger one. Can hit you. Sorry. And I would like that Tom say a few words about his project. Yeah? And then I will come back if you have any questioning. Okay? I want to drink something.
Thank you all for being here. It just means so much that you love and support Israel, and you put your feet here, your ears and your heart here to support Israel. It's noticed and it is felt. 2006, from this area, they rained down 11,000 missiles on Kiryat Shmona and on the kibbutz. I had a friend in the area, and he asked, "What can we do? You know, how can we help? What can we do?" And you remember when Betzalel was talking about them living in shelters, he said, "You know what? If you could please give us a hand, if you guys could just they took us to the bomb shelters, and they said, could you help us clean these up? It's like, sure. So we got some brooms and dustpans and shovels and paintbrushes. We're a very small church on the coast of Oregon. We have 140 to 200 people because we have a lot of retired folks who travel back and forth. So we brought people over, paintbrushes, brooms, and we cleaned, we painted. We've done 70 bomb shelters since then. And through that, we got to meet Betzalel and the people of the kibbutz. And it was warm and it was good. And they said, hey, we got this piece of property down here, and it looked just like the brush. And they said, you guys can build a shrine. And we said, well, we don't really do shrines, but we'd like to build a place where people can come from the buses and go down and just pray for the safety of Israel.
Excellent.
And it's been really cool. And this is a secular kibbutz, and we have a partnership with them. We love them; they love us. And the Israelis are more than just a target. They don't need our help. They're people, and we just, as you just fall in love with the people. And they're our partners, they're our brothers, they're our family. And that's what our ministry tries to put forth. When people come here, we tell them that people who read the Torah and know the Lord and love the Lord will love Israel.
Well, now, listen. Hezbollah is a private military Shia army. Call it like this, okay? Now, there is what we call the Lebanese army, by the way, supported by United States. All of them work with M16, it's good. M16, vehicle, American vehicle, things like this. It used to be supported by Saudi Arabia and United States. Now Saudi Arabia disappeared. Only United States. But it's a problem. One brother is in the Lebanese army, the other brother is at the Hezbollah. And what you expect for them, something happen. But don't worry, nothing happened. We put here, okay? But the Hezbollah is controlling in the south because this is the poor area in Lebanon. It's not controlling on the Christian in Beirut, and it's not control on the Sunni, and of course not about the Druze. Thank you very much. And
this is one of the bravest men.
I'm afraid from Putin, not from the television. I'm afraid. Seriously.
Yeah, really. This is one of the bravest men you'll ever meet up here, doing a great job. Once again, a standing ovation, Betzalel.
We'll give you 10 minutes to make shopping.
All right, Tom Trento with the United West team here at one of our favorite places on earth, Mizgav Am, Kibbutz, on the northeast corner of Israel on the Lebanese border. And look, we're adults. This whole talk about walls and, they don't work, it's silly, it's nonsensical, and it's a political game by people opposed to President Trump. And for all those opposed to President Trump, I want to take you up here. On the front line, we're standing on the border of Lebanon and Israel. And on the other side of this border is not the Lebanese army, it's Hezbollah. Hezbollah controls the whole south from the Litani River down. And look what the Israelis just did. And if you don't think they think walls work, then you're playing games. And we know the whole thing's a political stunt for you folks that don't believe in walls. Look at this security system. It's a concrete wall, 9 meters, about 30 feet high. It's got concrete, then it's got metal. Within the metal above and within the wall are sensors. Then going below, 6, 7, 8 meters, 20 feet. The wall continues underground, public knowledge, with sensors for tunneling. So with all of this, something's happening over here. I don't know what it is, but in any event, with this security system, the Israelis have protected Mizgav Am, the kibbutz, on the Israeli side. And look at right over there. I'm 40 feet, 50 feet away from the wall. The other side is Lebanon, and those houses wave to them. Hey, Nasrallah, Hezbollah, how are you? How's your day? This is dangerous territory, and the Israeli government has said, you know what? Let's protect our people with a wall. Walls work. Reporting from Mizgav Am with the United West team here in the northeast corner of Israel on the Lebanese border.